Hey everybody, Chris from 6 Wins here with Matt. Before we get into the matches for the day, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Hate doing that, but hey, everybody does it. Talking about Undertaker versus Honky Tonk Man.
Oh. Did he do an Elvis? I mean, he was basically Elvis. You do a good Elvis.
Oh yeah, I always thought it'd be funny to do like a sketch where you just have Elvis, but in like regular everyday scenarios. So like Elvis at the bank. Oh hey man, what do you mean I'm making a deposit, huh? Or like Elvis at a restaurant. Huh? I asked for extra mayo on this, huh? Anyways, so that's the 1 vs 16 matchup. You probably know how that one went, but we'll still get into it. And then the next one, we were really excited about to see how it fell, and it was very close. Kane versus Sting. Ooh, best WWE superstar. So, before we get into talking about it, I've been doing a little bit of research on these clowns. They're not doink, they're not clowns. And I want to ask you, Matt, Undertaker.
Yeah.
Honky Tonk Man. Kane. Sting. You know what I did? I Googled their net worth.
Okay.
Do you think, off the top of your head, you can rank them from highest net worth to lowest net worth? And I hate to be that clickbait guy, but the facts may shock you.
I don't think I could, because I think there's always so much unknown. I mean, I'll give it a shot, obviously. I'm not going to not play this game, because I'm going to beat all the jabronis at home that think they can do it. Write your answer in before. Don't act like you got it right and tell this is what I said. We're going to downvote you if you said you got it all right in the comments. I promise. I will. Chris won't.
I'll upvote you.
I won't downvote you. You don't matter to me. Just kidding.
Full heel.
Full heel.
Corporate
Okay.
Matt.
So I'll try to rank their net worths. The most. This is me thinking, not picking. The most obvious thing I think is Undertaker is the highest, Honky Tonk is the lowest. But Kane is a mayor and has been in movies. WWE put him in some of those like horror movies. They never did that with Undertaker because they were like, let's not give him schlock. Let's give it to his brother Kane. And Sting, like maybe Sting owns shares in AEW or something, but you know maybe Undertaker also does for being so integral to that company. So and then maybe Honky Tonk Man has like a great like used car dealership business and like whatever his real name is, like you just see it on like license plate frames all the time, like Bill Burton Ford dealer, and you're like, oh my god, that's Honky Tonk Man, dude. Everybody drives a Bill Burton.
He's got a residency in Vegas.
So yeah, he could be still doing Elvis impersonation stuff. I'm gonna go with the more obvious answer though. I'm gonna go Taker, Sting, Kane, Honky Tonk, Badonkadonk.
Okay. Now that would have probably been mine.
Yeah.
Taker, Sting, Kane, Honky Tonk. Here's how it went when I Googled so-and-so's net worth. Number 1, Honky Tonk.
No!
$45 million net worth for Honky Tonk.
Do we know where that's coming from?
We don't know.
That's just his net worth.
I just saw the number.
So interesting. I'm gonna have to. We should find him on Twitter or something. And be like, what is your money from?
Or so maybe he just managed his money really well.
Yeah.
I would, if any, like one would have been like relatively surprising. Kane seems like a pretty sharp guy. Like say like whether you agree with him politically or not, whatever. He just seems like a sharp guy who would have like invested really well.
Yeah.
So Honky Tonk Man number 1, Undertaker number 2.
Okay.
Kane number 3.
Okay.
Sting number 4.
Might
I
not
guess
surprise me for Sting number 4.
No, but you think with all of like his appearances and he's still wrestling, I don't know how much AEW's paying him, but I would have thought he would have been worth quite a bit.
I guess what it tells you is retire sooner from your job that made you money, because then you probably have more time for endorsements or investing or whatever Honky Tonk's doing, who's been retired for the longest.
Yeah.
And so, retire. It gives you more money in the long run.
Right. Yeah. And you know, if we go back and Google it and I was wrong for whatever reason, or if I was looking at like theonion.com or something like that, who am I kidding? I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to put out this false information and whatever. That's how things spread on the internet. So, the first matchup, Undertaker versus Honky Tonk Man. Do you have any thoughts on either of these two, or just this matchup itself? Any surprises?
I think we all knew how this one was gonna go, and that's fair. 1/16s, if you're familiar with brackets and March Madness, 1/16s for decades have been guarantees, and they still are. We finally did have a 16 seed beat a 1 seed in the March Madness tournament a few years ago, which finally happened. It was amazing, and they actually blew them out. It was like they routed this team.
Yeah.
It was really incredible. But for the most part, the guy deserves to be in the bracket. Somebody deserves it as a 16 who's not as good as a 1, and a 1's gonna win.
Yeah.
But we still want to do it for the sake of the bracket, and I did see Honky Tonk Man get a few votes. He was a really good heel. People mentioned that he had a really good Intercontinental title run, and like I said, I threw him in there because I thought we should have like one of those music character gimmicks, because there's one around every generation, and so I thought, you know, Honky Tonk Man was a great representative of that. But yeah, Undertaker's gonna go far, and I would vote for Undertaker as a better wrestler. How about you?
Yeah, for sure. Well, when we interviewed a ton of people at LCA, we went to SmackDown and we got a ton of footage with actual wrestling fans. We'd always ask, who is the greatest WWE superstar of all time? We got more Undertakers than anything, which surprised me a little bit. I was expecting to see more Austin, Rock, Hogan, Flair, maybe, but we got more Undertakers than anything by far. So this for me is a given. I would vote Undertaker. When the votes came in, Honky Tonk got a little love, but Undertaker's moving on to the second round. And this is where it gets interesting, because he's going to face the winner of Kane, who he's faced a bunch of times. They had so many great feuds. And Sting, who he's never faced. Go on the internet for 5 seconds, search wrestling. You're going to find people talking about maybe they'll still do a Kane Taker match. Or, I'm sorry, a Sting Taker match. I think if they had their chance, it was at WrestleMania 31.
Yeah.
They went with Undertaker versus Bray and Sting versus Triple H. We were actually there. Still an awesome WrestleMania. I would put it at the top 5. Anyways.
I need to work on my rankings for that.
Yeah, I know. I love ranking things, hence the bracket.
It's the bracket.
Yeah. So any thoughts on Kane versus Sting? There's probably a little more to this one.
There's a lot to this one, but I'll try to not go super long. This is really hard. I think Kane is still sort of underrated, at least pre-Unmasked Kane. Unmasked Kane, I think he was kind of done, or they just didn't want to. I think he was getting older and couldn't do the sort of in-ring work he could. But man, Masked Kane as just like a monster, big man, frightening antagonist is just so memorable and so visually striking. People would go as Kane for Halloween. The year I went as D'Lo Brown, one of my friends was Undertaker and one was Kane, and so I really fit in with them. But I also loved Sting, and I know we've talked about like WCW guy. I was definitely a bigger WCW guy, and even for a few years when both were running simultaneously, I was kind of like, I think I like WCW more. For some of the wrestlers, and Sting was up there as one of my all-time favorites and so memorable. Of course, we're trying to talk about like, well, as a WWE superstar, because then why are we talking about guys from NJPW and things like that? And so we didn't want to open that forbidden door. But yeah, I guess breaking it down in the most fair way possible. If we were talking about best WWE superstar, even though Sting, by not being in WWE, brought so much buzz, and still does, to WWE, that dream matchup versus Undertaker. But I have to say Kane's career in WWE was better. And I really do like Kane, even if I was considering everything Sting did. It'd be really close. I really like Kane. So, and I thought Sting would win this, though. My prediction was Sting was going to win.
Yeah, I was the same, and I was WWF through and through. I would watch an episode of Nitro here and there, but it was always WWF. But even then, aside from Goldberg, maybe a little NWO, Sting was just a guy everybody knew. Like with the action figures, I feel like whatever side of the fence you landed on, you still had the Sting action figure with the face paint, or even the Sting wrestling buddy. So Sting has just been an icon, no pun intended, since I can remember, and it's so close, hence the 8 and 9 ranking. I would probably go, personally, I'd probably go Sting.
Yeah, okay.
Just because I have too many memories of Kane after his awesome run with the mask. And even when they first unmasked him, he was still pretty, like, menacing.
It was, where was that storyline gonna go?
Yeah, and that's when they kind of capitalized and they had that movie, what's the name?
See No Evil.
See No Evil.
They tried to bring back the mask, too.
They brought the mask back a little bit, and it was cool, but then the whole corporate Kane with, like, he had a worse body than I have right now, and so I would vote Sting. Now, it was very, very close when it was all said and done. Are we going to get that?
Did we get Icon Phenom?
Are we going to get Icon Phenom?
The winner of Sting vs. Kane. Kane won it, so we will get one last time Undertaker versus Kane, little family feud. This looks like Kane, I think. Fireworks.